It's a very, very exciting keyboard for us. It has two different forms of synthesis in it, so you can actually take your DX7 sounds, your DX7, TX802, DX816, DX72 FD, and there's an actual tone generation section of this just for FM. You have 128 notes of polyphony just for FM. We have all sorts of exciting things just going on with that, but then we also have some other technologies in here to even supplement that. Oh, absolutely, yeah. So one of the things that's really great about this is since we have two different formats of synthesis in here, the other thing that's really great is we have different ways of being able to control and manipulate those. Obviously, we have lots of different controllers that we can use to manipulate the sound, and we also have this really cool super knob thing. So check this out. Because, you know, FM is such an expressive... I can manipulate the different FM parameters with knobs. Make wacky sounds, this thing will make wacky sounds, all right? But imagine for all the people that experienced FM for up to whatever it was, 30 years ago, this is FM with knobs. Imagine if your DX7 originally had knobs, right? That would have been really nice, Michael, right? How many hours of that time would that have saved you? Right? So really, really exciting time with that. But I mean, these different controllers can be applied to all sorts of different things. If I went with something even more, something more like electronica, like maybe like a EDM dance type thing, there's all sorts of great stuff in here, which not only can I control things with the super knob, which can manipulate all 8 parts in different ways simultaneously, but I also have scene buttons, and each one of these is a snapshot of what's going on with those 8 different combined parts in my performance. So taking something simple like just this, and opening up what the controller's doing. So I mean, just there's such a wide variety of different things you can do with just one performance. So this would be an example of a bunch of different synthesizer sounds, maybe a drum harp and some other things going on. Now let's say I want to, I'll dial it back a little bit. Let's just talk about something maybe more traditional. You know, some people do that type of music. Some people, they couldn't be further from that type of music, right? So let's take and go with something in particular very conventional. So I'll just take something like maybe like a brass sound. So I'll go in here, and this particular sound, this is an orchestral brass sound, but I can manipulate certain parameters in the brass so I can create a very realistic and expressive behavior that a brass instrument or a brass section would do, and that is, you know, kind of bearing down tighter on the armature, creating more intensity in my brass sound. Right? Now, of course, sounds like it's kind of in a dry room, so one of the other things I could do was just go in here and start by just making that, because when a horn is in an actual active room, you're going to hear more of that room, so you'll get more of... So just imagine taking that and playing that. So really expressive. Now, if I want to do something even more interesting, yeah. Oh, so let me go back. Instead of using this foot pedal, I'm using a super knob. But of course, if I don't want to take my hands off of the keys, I have the second pedal, and it just automatically defaults. I can change it, but it defaults to controlling the super knob, so I can do that. So this is one of my favorite things to do, because then the other thing to do for me is I want to add another instrument. So I'll go in here, and I'll basically just add just like a string pad on top of it. So I still have the horns playing quietly, but I just put some strings in there, and the strings velocity sensitive, of course. So if I play really soft, I can get more, but I don't have a full out section. The strings are behaving themselves and the horns are kind of in the background. I also added another little layer where if I play down here, I'll get a little bit of a timpani thing going. And I gave everybody a little bit rule of the room. You know, I gave them some reverb. So I can take this whole thing and just by bringing the horns in and out, these are all just presets. I just kind of threw this together. Favorite orchestra pieces, you know. Right? Or maybe, you know,